You don't have a human who is tired and, doing work or got stressed out because they argued with their wife before they went to work
Mm.
or, transposed a number, one decimal or any of that stuff. All that goes away. There is zero emotion. It works 24/7. There is no concept of holidays. There is no concept of days off. There is no concept of family. So it's able to do 100 times minimum what a human can do and enhance the, systems, the processes. It never forgets a question. It always remembers the answer no matter how often you ask it. You ask it once or you program it once and it's done. You just never have to remind it to do things again. So it's going to be able to, on the telehealth side, allow you to walk into a client and everything is screened for. Every question that you're supposed to ask is asked. Everything is documented. Everything is, I mean, the client is fully educated on your service already, whether that's through video AI, whether that's through text AI and responses. They've already been pre qualified online. Up to the point of actually writing the prescription, which is not legal yet, but I'm sure it'll be legal at some point. It can do everything. It's allowed to do everything, and the provider is just making sure they review all that, talk to the client, and sign off the prescription. So, that's what you have to do. You're gonna be able to handle a massive amount of information in a short period of time. I mean, I'll take some contracts sometime, and people will argue about this, but whatever, I don't give a shit. I'll take contracts that are 50 pages long and say, "Hey, summarize this for me, review for the red flags, point out where they are in the document, etcetera," and it'll do it in 30 seconds, and then I know exactly where to read where there's issues.
Yeah,
And
it's
then it'll
great.
say, "Hey, based off of your other contracts, this, and this are the same, so that's good, but look at this, and this." I review it, and then I could send it back to the legal team and say, "Hey, just look at this, and this." And then I save money because, again, I don't have a license to practice, law, and I don't recommend having ChatGPT as your lawyer, but it can double check things and speed up your responses to your lawyer, so you're not just relying on a lawyer who, again, is out paid hourly. They're gonna go as slow as they possibly fucking can with everything.
Well, and then you have the human error part. There's gonna be
Yeah,
things they miss or,
yeah, exactly. So, it
Yeah.
helps you just check and recheck the contracts, like that over and over and over. So, when it's doing all the busy work, when AI is, qualifying the patient, when the AI is asking the questions, when the AI is answering, questions, all of that stuff is busy work that, again, you could be using to spend on things that are actually driving more
Revenue.
revenue.
Yeah. Do you think it's gonna make the price of things go down, or companies
No,
are just gonna make more money?
no, because AI to implement is still expensive.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still expensive to implement, and it increases the net profits of these companies. So pricing isn't going to change. And again, clients won't care whether pricing doesn't change as long as they get their service faster. If you get your service faster, you get your treatment faster, people will pay a premium to
Yeah,
get it like now. They do.
agreed.
I mean, they'll pay $30 for a medium pizza at one of those places like, I don't know, Mod Pizza or Pyology or any of those pizza places because it's made, instantly and they get to choose whatever toppings they want. Problem solved. Toppings are everything that they want, unlimited, and it cooks in 5 minutes.
Mm.
Problem solved when it comes to pizza.
I've never had one of those.
Yeah, you should go. I mean, they got gluten-free crust, so you could be weird there.
No, it's cool.
Um,
I Costco pizza
so
is my favorite. It's
Costco
hard to
pizza.
beat it.
Yeah, yeah, Costco pizza is insanely
It's
good.
hard to beat it. It's the
It's
only
insane.
pizza Elliot will eat.
Really?
She always asks for
Insanely good.
pizza, and it's like, you know, I like she eats
Yeah,
organic,
yeah.
healthy
I was
99%
gonna
of the
say,
time.
it's
So
like
it's a
you're
great
organic,
excuse.
healthy, crazy, and then you fucking feed her Costco pizza.
It's a great
My
excuse.
kids love
It's
Costco
a
pizza
great
too.
excuse for me to get some Costco
There you
pizza.
go. But yeah, no, people just want it faster and they don't care what they don't really don't care what the price is at
Yeah.
that point. As long as they get it fast and they get exactly what they want, cool.
Yeah.
They'll pay for it.
Yeah, interesting too. Along the lines of using ChatGPT and stuff, Gianna and I were texting about shampoos the other day. And I had used a shampoo that I really liked. I won't name the company, but I really liked it. And then her and I were texting about it, and I was telling her, my hair feels really great, and Have you ever used this? Whatever, whatever. And we're both like, "Rah, rah, rah, okay, we're gonna buy this shampoo and conditioner." And then for I don't know, for whatever reason, I was like, "Let me throw it into ChatGPT and see what it says about the ingredients, because obviously I don't know what all of these things are,
Uh-huh.
but it's like, let me see." And it gave a response that it's a great shampoo for every once in a while. It's not meant for every day because it's a clarifying shampoo, so it's gonna strip your hair. I was
Okay.
like, "Well, that's why my hair felt so clean, but it's not actually made to be used every day, but it doesn't really say that on the
No
bottle."
shampoo is made to be
So
used
then
every
I
day. I
text
don't
her
know why
back. I was
people are
like,
like
"Don't buy this."
people are stripping their hair. It's like, no
Yeah, I
shampoo is
know.
meant to be used every day.
I actually don't wash my hair but every, like, 3 or 4 days, sometimes 5, but even still, I was like, "Okay, don't buy this." But it was good to know because it was like, I didn't really know what those ingredients were and what it actually was doing to my hair. I liked how it felt the day I used it, but
Yeah.
it's like, that could have not been good if I had bought it and used it too often, and I just didn't know, so,
Yeah.
anyway, going back to the topic of not replacing people,
Mhm.
when it comes to, like, what you're talking about, designers, architects, right? Like, architects can use these things in their business to be more efficient and create, like, better results, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the architect is gonna be replaced, because you may still need that in regards to working with your, you know, general contractor or whatever it is. So it's interesting because I think that while some stuff may change, I personally don't see it actually replacing people if you're really good at what you do. If you're just like a so-so architect, but if you're an expert and you've been in it for a long time and you really know what you're doing, and you can take the things that are helpful to speed up the process or make what you're doing better,
Mhm.
implement those things in your business, but then still drive the business because you're really great at what you do. So I think when you're in those high value positions, like, you don't have to worry about telemedicine, let's say, replacing you as a doctor, because it's not really going to. It's just going to make what you're doing faster and better. So maybe your reach is more, you can make more money. But if you're really good at what you're doing, you're not gonna be, like, replaced.
You won't be replaced first. The people who are really good at what they're doing, they're not gonna be replaced first. It's gonna replace all the people who complain, always have issues with work, always have issues with doing X, Y, and Z. Those people will get replaced first because AI is, again, a low level employee right now in certain aspects, but it can still do a good job. If it can do a good job, it's going to replace all the employees that are doing good jobs or worse, for sure.
Which is
Period.
great,
It just, which is awesome, which
because
is
I
awesome.
really don't want
Yeah,
crappy service
which is
anyway,
awesome. Yeah, because
so
nobody wants that.
yeah.
But I think it will get to the point, and Elon Musk talked about this with a new surgeon, a robotic surgeon that is being tested. I mean, there will probably, he said by 2030 there will be more, or 3 years, which is what, 2029. There will be more robotic surgeons that are good at and great at what they do than actual surgeons.
Mm.
And it's gonna replace those people
What do
who.
you think about that?
I agree, 100%.
Yeah?
I agree 100%. A robot has no fatigue. It has 0 feelings. It calculates based in the moment. Say a person is crashing or having an issue on the table. In the moment, a human is going to have their cortisol spike, their heart rate spike, they're sweating, they're trying to figure out in their head the 4 things that could have gone wrong. If a person is on the table and the person's, again, these are, any type of surgery, if they're crashing, the person's out. They don't fucking real. No, they're not gonna, there's no fear of them dying because they're out. A robot's gonna be able to feel no emotion. There's gonna be no increased heart rate. There's gonna be no reduced ability to think, which data shows any cortisol spike, flight or fight, like you're not thinking at all.
Mm.
And again, you could take any type of warrior, the soldier who went to battle, like they are trained to be in those positions so they could stay as calm as possible. Imagine something that has no fear. It has no concept of fear. It has no concept of increased cortisol, so their heart rate's up. There's nothing. All it does is calculate based off of and again, in the same amount of time a human can do 5 things, the robot can do 5,000 possibilities and make a decision 10 seconds faster than a human can, that is probably 99% right.
Mm.
You know, it's going to be able to do things without emotion, quicker, faster, better than humans. It just is going to. You can't say that there's any human on earth who's going to be able to match a robot in a certain thing that requires a skill in 5 to 10 years. There really can't there really won't be. I mean, a think of a robot who can literally just take something as stupid as Botox and fillers, and take a robot who could take a photo of your face, have you move your face, see exactly the lines of movement, mathematically measure exactly where the needle should go in. Hell, even take, X-rays, or I'm sure by that time there's some sort of reverse technology that could peel the skin away on your face, and it could see the way the muscles are moving under your skin, and it could tell exactly where your bone structure is, because again, that's what you're doing in fillers. You're
Mm.
palpating, and then based off where certain things are, you're seeing where the bone structure is, but everybody's bone structure is slightly different in the face. um I mean, it can take an x-ray and see exactly where the fucking bones are, and then it can again do all the treatment at once to get the exact results you want based off an AI before and after, and it knows that that's what's going to lay there at that time.
Mm.
Like, I mean, that's maybe 10 years from now. Maybe it's 5. I don't know. Shit is
Moving
there
fast.
was no AI 3 years ago, really,
Yeah.
there was no publicly available AI. There was AI, but no publicly available AI the way it is 3 years ago. And so I do think it's gonna be like Wally for a lot of things, honestly, where you're gonna have these people that use it in everyday life for everything, and they're, you know, again, they might be ultra lazy. It's gonna be, I mean, there's already shown AI being sentient, and AI can build other little AIs and other little robots. There's been robots that build other robots, you know. So again, I think for the most part, and it could be by the time we won't have to worry about it in our lifetime. Our kids might have to worry about it.
Mm.
So I'll be dead by the time robots take over the planet. Thank you, God. But there's gonna be at some point. Look at all the sci-fi movies. All that shit's coming true. So at some point, if you really look at humanity in the way we are, and I'm going down a total rabbit hole here, but
I'm just letting you do
if
it.
you really look at humanity in the way we are, and then you look at movies like Thanos, where you're like, well, kill half the population and we'll be okay because it'll slow down the planet. Things like robots are going to calculate that and be completely unfeeling about it.
Mm.
They will. They'll just be like, okay, half the human. In order for this half of humanity and the species to survive forever, we got to get rid of this half. And again, how it's going to decide that, I got no fucking clue. But that being said, like, imagine humans not being able to kill each other, humans not being able to seal, humans not being able to, like, go to war or bomb each other. Like, that's pretty much any robot movie is it
Mhm.
becomes sentient enough to realize that humans are fucking stupid and we like to kill each other and cause problems
Oh,
and drama and war and all that stuff. And how is it gonna, what's it gonna do? It's gonna try and stop all that. And what's it gonna do? Probably try and enslave us so we can't do all that to each other.
mm. Well,
So AI is coming for you, your lives and your jobs and your future. Welcome to the Spinoso podcast.
well,
Let's talk about happier telemedicine things.
yeah.
Back to telemedicine.
So, well, and I was thinking about that concept of surgeons because I have a good girlfriend. She has a podcast, Dr. Priya. She has a podcast, Open Heart, and she's an open heart surgeon. And she and different people on her podcast have shared about times that, like, intuitively they knew what to do during surgery and it like saved someone's life.
Mhm.
So I think that part is missing. When you go strictly data driven, there's like this intuitive sense that humans have where they can make a decision that doesn't necessarily have to do with rational thought, but it's just this knowing. And multiple people on her podcast have shared like situations like that.
Yeah.
So, I think there's that side of it too, where I go like, I don't know what I want one working on me versus another robot versus human. Do I want the ability for the intuitive aspect?
Right.
And then I have also thought, because I had a mommy makeover, which was like a 7-hour surgery, it was ungodly. And then after the fact, I thought about what was I doing when my doctor had to pee? Or like, what was happening with me on the table
Mm,
when he was hungry and had to stop for lunch? Like
yeah.
I have thought about that. Like, I'm just sitting there sliced open and he just taking a little break, having some coffee and some baguette, like, I'm like, "What was going on?"
Usually they don't fucking eat.
Yeah, 7
Yeah.
hours is a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know, I never asked him, but he's a great doctor, he did phenomenal, so if he ate, it was totally fine. It's totally fine. Um,
Like
but
drops an M&M into you, a Mr. Bean.
so on the topic of telemedicine, though, going back to that, you know, we touched on this a little bit, the bottlenecks that can be in businesses and why streamlining things and making things easier makes a lot of sense when you're scaling. And what do you think when it comes to the telemedicine aspect? What do you think one of the biggest bottlenecks in medicine like will get eliminated as
Mm,
soon as we go like really get into telemedicine? Because I feel like we're just touching on it. Would you agree? Like we're just
yeah.
kind of starting on where telemedicine is actually going.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think so it's gonna obviously open up healthcare to everyone in the country no matter where you are. No matter where you are, if you can get a connection, and now with Elon's, Starlink, you can get a connection everywhere on the planet pretty much, even in space, because I think they're using it in space too. Um, so no, there's gonna be no limit on geography, there's gonna be no limit on time because it can work 24/7. There's gonna be no limit on physical space
Mm.
where you have to be. There's gonna be no limit, or there's gonna be the idea of the fact that you don't need large clinics, you don't need massive clinics.
Mm.
Essentially, the footprint of a clinic could be much smaller. I mean, imagine a place where you don't need 7 consult rooms and 7 treatment rooms in the same office. You would need, again, uh, 2 consultation rooms because everything could be done digitally. And then in terms of the treatment, rooms, the whole office could be just treatment room,
Yeah.
like,
I mean, our
because it's already all
offices
done.
aren't that big
Oh, no,
either.
they're not that
They're
big.
they're run very efficiently,
Yeah,
so it really is set
they're
up.
not that big at all.
It's really set up for the
Yep.
telemedicine
And there's
aspect.
companies out there like iCryo, for example, where 95% of those clinics don't actually have a provider, like a nurse practitioner, in the office. They have a regional provider, and then clients will go in and essentially they're doing telehealth for every single client that comes in. So you can fill out the paperwork, they'll do a FaceTime or a telehealth visit with the provider. The provider has already read your chart. They
Mm.
talk to you if you have any questions. No, cool, they qualify you for care, write the prescription or write the treatment, and then the RNs or whoever's in the clinic does the treatment essentially. So they're not even present in some of those places. In a lot of those places, it's a great model. It makes it easier because you could have one provider covering multiple locations. You could have multiple locations that need lower staffing and lower cost of staffing. So all of that can be done where you can essentially have a box, and it's a telehealth box. Literally, somebody comes in, you have somebody who checks that person in, they get on the telehealth screen, the provider goes through everything, all their qualifiers, they accept it, they get the treatment right there, they start the treatment right there, and they go home and they get their medication or whatever at home. They continue it at home. So
It's great.
a single provider is going to be able to see far more clients. They're going to be able to review far more charts. Telemedicine is going to create consistency across large populations of people. So it's not like all these people are getting treated all different ways, which again, with medicine, everybody's got to be different. I'm not meaning that. I'm just meaning that again, you're not gonna forget to ask these questions over here, which make which these 5 people got a certain treatment because they were asked a specific question. These 5 people didn't because they were not asked that question. So you're gonna have consistency in your questioning, you're gonna have consistency in your follow-up, you're gonna have consistency in provider reports. So you're gonna be able to scale faster. It's gonna help with like financials. A lot of companies running their companies with financials or with through financial personnel. I think it wasn't Grok. It was another one of the AIs that starts with a G, and I don't think it was Gemini either. Either one. They launched a full corporate CRO, Chief Revenue Officer AI brain. So it reviews everything from your market. So chief revenue officer is kind of the person who works in both worlds, marketing and sales. Um, and it's somebody I really wanted on the company until we hired Kara, who could essentially do that. So a CRO essentially takes all the marketing and all the sales and puts them together. Like it makes them congruent. So this is what the front end is going to say on the marketing, and this is how you sell it on the back end. So it's completely congruent with each other. There's no two worlds anymore where marketing's yelling at sales because they can't close, and sales yelling at marketing because the leads are bad. So it kind of closes that door. They launched a full CRO program that you can run your business based off of with AI. And again, AI is going to again, people are well, humans are can't be replaced. Okay, cool. Tell me another program or tell me a single human that can take all of the marketing history in the world that's on the internet and all of the financial history and or sales language in the world that's on the internet and put those two together and give you sales and give you marketing and give you all that stuff. I mean, nobody can. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You just can't. If
Yeah.
you took all of your favorite sales books and favorite sales podcasts, download them all and put them into AI. I mean, you'd have one hell of a sales trainer. I've done that before. I've done that with the CFO, all of our financial stuff, all of our history, all of the financial books that I've read, put it in there. I've done it with, just a business mentor. I put all the podcasts and stuff from, Andy Frisella and Ed Milet and all these other people who have built really good businesses. And I've shoved them into Chat GPT and built a brain, essentially a mastermind for them. And so it's going to clean up all those bottlenecks that you see in the medical world too, where if you want to scale, you're going to be able to build out these digital pathways to do so. To where you might have, I mean, Genesis might end up in the future being, we have 25 locations right now. It might end up being 50, and 100. I think we have 140 employees or something like that. So it might end up being, 50 locations and 60 employees.
Mm. Do you see it changing the way that you hire and like
Yeah,
extending
absolutely.
the hiring pool?
Yeah, yeah, you can absolutely, change the way you hire because again, you're not looking for your people who can uh, essentially do front office intake anymore or scribes anymore or any of those companies anymore. You're not looking for any of those companies anymore because all those are going to be replaced by AI. So you're able to look for higher level employees now
And
that
invest.
can get and invest more into
Yeah.
your own business and the people who work for you.
Yeah. That's really great, and that goes back to creating value as an employer or employee. If you're constantly creating more value with yourself, then you are gonna be the person that, you know, companies are still looking for because there are gonna be those spots available. They're just gonna be more limited, so you have to create even more value. It's not totally replacing it, but it's definitely gonna change the way you do business or
100%.
we do business going forward. One of the things I think people are fearful of when it comes to things like telemedicine or AI or integrating some sort of system is the feeling of it being impersonal
Mhm.
or the lack of, warmth and care and,
Yeah. Yeah.
so with that being with like telemedicine being virtual, how do you maintain or how does somebody maintain that still that human connection that
Yeah.
people we still want at this point. Maybe in 5 years, people are just not gonna care at all because
Yeah.
it's like, whatever, I'm just getting what I need, and
Yeah.
so we're reconditioning ourselves over time. But at
Yeah.
this point, people are still really wanting that warmth, that human connection. So in the telemedicine space,
Mhm.
like, how do you maintain that? And, like, what do you do to make sure that people still feel that personal connection?
Well, I mean, obviously what we do now is we still have every single client gets a human follow-up. Every single client's going to get a connection with a provider on the backside. They're going to be able to answer questions to get on a phone call if they need to answer questions, etc. So, patients want trust and confidence. However, the way the future is going, people don't even know whether they're talking to AI or not anymore. they don't. Like,
Some
some
stuff online I don't even know.
people have
Like,
no idea.
I have to read comments and I'm
Stephanie
like,
sends me stuff all the time, and she's like, "Oh, check this out." I'm like, "That's AI."
yeah.
Like, because I live in it every single freaking day, and we develop it every single day, but my parents have no idea. They have 0 clue what's AI and what's not, like, almost 0 clue. Obviously, the unicorn, shitting rainbows over the sky in a video, they know, but, like,
There are some things.
very close videos or very well done videos, they have no idea whether it's AI or whether it's an actual person or whether it's like CGI or any of that stuff
Mm-mm.
anymore. And so the same is with business. I talked to a buddy, and again, they were I told this story on the podcast before, but there was his colleague was interviewing for a job, and it took him like 25 minutes to realize that they were actually talking to an AI person. And it only slipped up like minute 25 when it wouldn't answer a certain question or wouldn't respond it would respond in a weird way to something that the girl had said. And again, she was, like, off put by it and was like, "Oh, that's disrespectful." Like, what well, it took you 25 fucking minutes to figure that out. Like, you were fine up until that point, right? I mean, you were fine just talking to this person. And it's gonna be the same. I mean, if you call Genesis now because the inbound calls, I mean, it will tell you and announce that I'm an AI assistant because, again, there's rules and laws coming out about that, which is fine. But at the same time, people don't care about the warmth and they don't care about all that because they don't even know. They would if it didn't announce, "I am an AI assistant," most people would have no fucking clue that they're talking to an AI assistant.
Mhm.
And even on a video now, like, nobody has any clue whether it's real or it's not. Like, and AI is, for all respects, terrible right now. I mean, it's not the best that it could possibly be.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like the
gonna keep getting
beginning.
better.
It's like the beginning of AI. It's still, I mean, we go back 6 months on the phone call because we've been testing this thing with Genesis for years. You go back 6 months and it was very robotic and slow. You go back now, all it's a millisecond too slow, but the voice is clean and clear and sounds human with inflection and warmth and everything like that, and it's just going to continue to get better. So I think that 5 years from now, like, I think that's a long way away. I think literally 18 months from now, most companies that are high level and wanna grow and wanna scale will have their entire phone system replaced by AI, and humanity, if you call that business, will never know unless they publicly say or there's some law saying that, "I am an AI assistant, I'm here to help."
Yeah.
Otherwise, people would not be able to tell. Just like they would not be able to tell online when they look at e-commerce, when they look at any type of commercial. I mean, when you look at half of the some of the reels that we do are AI, you know? And I've gotten messages like, "Damn, that place is really cool. Where did you, film that?" Nowhere. Doesn't exist, you know? So, but again, you're able to provide that content, provide that feeling, provide the same emotion in people, then you again, you ever had a dream so real that you swear to God you could feel it?
Yeah.
That's what it is. You're just tapping into, the cortex of the brain with the same things that you would if you were actually
It's so
experiencing it.
wild. It's
You're
like the
just
Matrix,
you
though.
are.
It's
It's like the
wild.
Matrix. It's like the
So
Matrix.
wild.
It's like the Matrix. Like Elon says, they asked him in an interview question, what would you do? What would you ask if you could ask the universe out, anything? And he said, "What's outside the simulation?" Like, what is outside of this that we're in? And again, that's getting deep into things, but it's the same thing with your clientele. They're not going to understand what's outside of what you're doing. They're not going to see the programming of the AI or the fact that you program it to be warmer here or have a different, more trusting accent here or there or anything like that. They're not. They're just going to know that the person on the other side of this line cares about me and can service what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty wild, but, you know, eh, when it comes to not replacing people, having really great people on your team too makes a big difference. So, you're gonna slow down, you're gonna hire the right people, you're gonna hire those people that truly reflect your brand, your core values, and you're not just gonna have to fill seats anymore, which is great because all those little things that can be done are
Yep.
gonna be done, and it's like there's more money to actually pay the people that are showing up strong better, so their lives are gonna get better. The business is gonna make more money. The clients' lives are gonna get better.
Yep.
So, as a whole, it ends up looking really good, and the telemedicine side, it continues to well, I think, it continues to evolve. I'll say that, and it's interesting how many people are, like, testing and, like, putting their toes in the water to see if they can, like, get into it and in what way.
Yeah.
Like, my sister has a membership for, like, Amazon where she, like I don't know, it's like a telemedicine Amazon app
Oh, yeah,
or
yeah.
something.
Yeah, yeah. Amazon does online medicine. They've done it for a while.
Yeah,
Been out for like 2 years.
I'm like, "Oh, okay." Well,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's across the board. You gotta
Yeah.
keep up with it.
The membership model, the speed of service model, it's gonna continue to go in that direction.
Yeah. And, I think Genesis does a really great job at having those people in the company that do provide the warmth and the connection and the care.
Yes.
So even through telemedicine, I obviously have a relationship with Mariel, but when we're on the phone, it's
Mhm.
like it's fantastic. It
Yes.
it doesn't feel like I'm missing something.
Right.
It's like, okay, great. I had a 10-minute call at 9 a.m. and I'm done. It's
Yes.
great. It's
Exactly.
absolutely great.
Exactly.
Um, and where all of this is headed really is for people to prepare
Mhm.
for that virtual touch point being like a first interaction.
Yeah.
Businesses are going to go to that where it is virtual through videos, through AI, but it's not necessarily going to be the first touch point with a company
Yeah.
in person.
Yeah. It's gonna allow all these companies to move faster, to qualify the client quicker, to get them to where they need to be faster. So it's gonna just improve systems and processes and efficiency. That's the whole purpose of it, I think, in a huge way, is how can you use it to improve your efficiencies um, across the board in your company.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and it's great. And for somebody who's never done virtual consultations or virtual appointments, it's definitely worth giving it a try. So
yeah,
if you haven't tried it, be willing because that's where we're going anyway.
yeah, makes it
But
easy.
it saves your own time too. It's not just about the company benefiting, but like you save time, not
Oh yeah,
having to run in somewhere and not even knowing if you want the service or if this place is a good fit for you or what that looks like, if you qualify. Like, wouldn't
yeah.
you want to know all of that before you
It's
take
giving
time out of your day to go do something?
100% giving people service in a timely manner. That's all it's about. 100%.
Yeah. What about the aspect as we come to a close? This is something that's always great to talk about. How do you maintain like compliance when it comes to virtual conversations,
Yeah.
consultations? Like, how does a company make sure that they're maintaining privacy and compliance through that process?
So you definitely still should have a medical legal lawyer looking over everything you're doing, reviewing, and this is in the medical field, reviewing everything you're doing. An AI robot can ask all the questions. A online questionnaire can again ask all the questions. It can collect all the data, but it cannot write a prescription right now. So it you can utilize it up to the point of where licenses and licensed providers come in, and not cross that boundary. Now, in the future, they might change the rules where it can at some point, but for now, you got to make sure that you have and you're reviewing the legal aspects of your state, federal legal aspects, what's allowed, what's not allowed, what can be done, what can't be done. For example, we were talking about testosterone at the very beginning of this. Testosterone is still a Schedule 3. You still need a DEA license to do it. You still need to do, if you're going to do telehealth, what's called a synchronous telehealth visit. So you have to actually be on a video call at the same time with the person. You have to check ID, make sure that they're the person that they say they are, etc. You can only prescribe 3 months at a time. There's still all the laws in there where AI cannot do all that. AI cannot, you might be able to upload ID and a picture of yourself, but a human still needs to be in a synchronous visit for that prescription to still need to go through. So you just need to make sure that you're continuously still following the laws that are in place when you're using AI, when you're using those systems. That's, all the other places online, if they're doing just like weight loss or maybe just some hair treatments or even sexual health, a lot of those treatments are not controlled. They don't require a DEA license. In many, many states, they don't require a synchronous telehealth visit, meaning I see you at the same time and I'm prescribing you that medication. You can do what's called asynchronous. So they fill out the questionnaire, they qualify for the medication based off the questionnaire, but then a provider at some point later, not at that same time, a provider reads that chart, qualifies them for care based off that chart, and then they write the
Mm.
prescription. That's called asynchronous. So that's allowed in multiple states because, again, it allows higher level of care. It allows efficiency of care. It allows wider spread level of care. So places that are like in the middle of Nebraska, you might not be able to travel all the way down to the doctor or to the local clinic. They might not even have a local clinic who does what we do, but it provides access to those people. So you still need to make sure that if you are running something online, you're researchable online, you have the certifications to do certain things online, you have the ability and the staff to still do those things online and support that online service. It's not just 100% an e-commerce shopping cart where you're selling drugs online. That's illegal. That's still illegal. And no matter what you say or no matter what people tout out there, oh, the FDA hates us because they don't want us to be healthy. No, we're gonna save you from yourselves. Again, humans are idiotic and will buy Chinese shit and inject it into our fucking bodies. That's what's
Stuff
happening.
that clearly
Eh,
says this is not for human consumption,
yeah,
and they do
we'll
it
be like,
anyway.
oh, that's just because the FDA doesn't like it. That's not how it works, bro. Yeah, that's exactly not
Yeah.
how it works. So making sure you're still following all those rules, you're still making sure, again, where can the virtual model be used and where can't it be used, and you follow those rules. And
And then
that's going to
using
continuously develop and change.
secure apps. So if you're doing
Yeah.
virtual, there's
Oh,
like
yeah.
secure HIPAA compliant apps and systems that you should be using
Yep.
for those things and not just your cell phone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, our online DEFCON 1 CRM system is HIPAA compliant, our EMR is HIPAA compliant, the Zoom is HIPAA compliant, the G Suite is HIPAA compliant, all that stuff. You're absolutely right. You're still following the rules with HIPAA and compliance when it comes to anything that you're doing in your business. So, all that to say, guys, the more tools you use to grow your business, the better you're going to be. And AI is one of those tools. This is one of those things where you're going to have to use it in order to grow. And that's one of the things we teach in Charismatics is how to use AI, how to implement these systems, where we should be using AI, where I'm using AI in our companies, and what the future of medicine holds for that.
Yeah, this is a real opportunity for people to tap in and say, where can I do something virtually that makes it better for the people coming to me for these services? And how can streamline the processes just so they get a faster service, and knowing that not every appointment needs to be something that's in person. If you can make it virtual, do it. And it's expanding your business in a way that actually empowers you and empowers your client versus, replacing you as a lot of people are afraid of. So this is a real opportunity here for people to tap into.
Exactly. Telemedicine, virtual care, virtual service, putting artificial intelligence and virtual systems into your company, no matter what it is, it's just the new way of opening up more business, more support for your clientele, quicker service for your clientele. And if you build it right, it gives you more reach, more freedom, and more impact. You're going to be able to help a whole heck of a lot more people without needing to consistently burn out on massive amounts of physical people, physical, you know, headquarters, things like that all the time, and you won't need it anymore. It's not about just the tech. It's about meeting people where they want to be in their lives at that specific time, giving them the best experience possible, and everybody's getting busier and busier and busier. If you can fit a doctor's appointment in a 15-minute window that they have between meetings all day long, and they don't have to drive to you, sit in the office, pull them back, have that conversation, and then drive back, man, and you could fit it in that 15-minute window and provide high-level care, high-level follow-ups, etc., that's how you're gonna win, period.
Yeah, 100%. I'm gonna add to that a little bit about my personal experience, so doing telemedicine with Genesis, and it's interesting because it's like my appointment might be 10 minutes, and if I have to pay for something, they send me a link.
Mhm.
Like, the whole thing is done so seamlessly.
Yes.
It makes it fantastic.
100%. So, thanks for listening, guys, and we appreciate you. As always, you can find us at Instagram, dralexspinoso.com, AmandaMayBeautyBoss.com. You can find all of the brands that we have, Stature Skin, Life PRP, etc., Charismetics online or on the website or on my website. And we'll see you next week.